Hey, howdy, hey, everybody, and welcome to Disney Night Live. It's Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Hello.
Mike and Becky made it.
Mike and Becky, I think you're muted.
We cannot hear you guys at all. Hey, Dave. Aloha. Aloha, everyone.
What's going on, Jason? Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me bring Disney Don on as well. And there's Mike and Becky. Oh, there you go. You're unmuted, guys.
Can you hear us now?
Don is back. I can
you
hear
hear us
you
now?
and I can see you guys. You look great. Yep. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight on this lovely Saturday?
Good. Glad to be here.
Good, yeah.
I
know.
think Mike and Becky chased their gremlins out of their equipment into mine.
Ah,
Good. How are you guys?
all right. I think you guys
Uh-oh.
might be
You guys are
frozen.
stuck in time.
Yeah, Mike and Becky are having some technical difficulties. Now you guys are moving. You're looking good. Hi, Lily. How are you? You switched over to
Hi,
YouTube.
Lily.
Good.
You guys
good.
are really
Thank you.
spotty. You're like,
Yeah,
What
no,
else?
it's yeah,
like
it's you. It's,
like
not you
Cruella's gonna come get us kind
Yeah.
of spotty, or
I think it's you guys, Mike and Becky.
the heck, you guys? Come on. Come on.
So happy Saturday, everybody. It's Disney Night Live. We got another fun episode for you tonight, a live stream, if you would. We are every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We bring you some Disney stuff, some fun and news and all sorts of goodies. Tonight we have what we think is another fun show. It's become an annual tradition around this time of the year, and it is what we call the annual Festivus show here at Disney Night Live. And Festivus is this is the 2024 Disney Night Live airing of Grievances, the Festivus for the rest of us. If you've seen that famous Seinfeld episode where they talked about Festivus and you air your grievances, your complaints, your gripes with people and things, but we relate it to Disney, so that's what we are doing tonight. But we have some other fun stuff to talk about.
Dude, Festivus is the fun stuff. I'm here to complain, baby.
Well,
I came to confess.
Totally.
Festivus.
Well, yeah. So this is Disney Festivus. But if we have any other complaints, we could definitely do that as well. You know, Becky's definitely sporting the Christmas spirit tonight. I love it. Awesome sauce. I have my Christmas hat on too.
Got my Santa Claus shirt on. although you
Yeah.
can't see it.
Hey, Santa. Is everybody in the? Are we ready for Christmas, everyone, or what?
Oh heck no!
Mm.
It's, you know what? It's just us and a dog. It couldn't get any easier.
Well,
How
we're
about you guys?
having
We do
people.
our... Oh, go ahead, Don.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're having the normal people over for Christmas dinner.
You call
going
them
over
normal,
to our
but-
friend's house for Christmas Eve. They're coming over to our house for Christmas dinner, and it's like, oh, we didn't get anything. You know, normally we, so this year I went out and got gift cards for everyone and said, okay, here you go.
There you go. Nice.
Gift cards
Hey,
it is.
you know what?
And
It's
I
easy,
did
right?
mail. I mailed Christmas cards out Saturday, I believe.
Nice. Look at you. Mike and Becky, you guys all set for what's coming up here next week or what? Yeah.
we're ready to go.
We gotta
Ready,
do some
good.
wrapping.
Yeah.
So-
Wrapping.
A little bit of wrapping,
Right.
final things, and well,
Well,
do
I'm
hers
sure
while she's
the
at work
elves will
tomorrow,
get. I'm sure
and
the
then we're
elves will
done.
get to the wrapping in time.
Yeah. Kim rapped all day long. She went in the middle room, she shut the door, and she rapped. And I did my normal Saturday cleaning chores and laundry and all that stuff, and had to run to a couple stores. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to do my wrapping. So I'll be done tomorrow. And Jay, you said you guys have it pretty easy. It's just the
Pretty
two of you
easy.
guys
It's
and a
dog and-
pupperoonie.
And this year we didn't decorate because of Miss Puppy, so it's even easier. But
Ah.
we do our stuff on Christmas Eve. We have our Christmas tradition. We have Christmas Eve. We have a Christmas Eve meal. We have a Christmas Eve movie. And we
Yeah.
get it all done on a nice evening. And like the old people we are, rock
What
out.
movie you watching? your Christmas Eve movie?
Well, okay, so it's not really a movie, but
Doctor Who.
it is Doctor Who. We watched the
I know.
2006 Christmas special, Doctor Who and the Runaway Bride, every Christmas Eve.
I knew it.
Because it's not Christmas if there isn't a giant spider trying to eat the earth and sauerkraut on sandwiches. I mean, come on. And Martinelli.
Oh, look at
It's
Lily.
not
She's
Christmas
she's
until
ahead
a
of
terrorist
everyone.
falls from
Now, Jade,
Yakima.
is your husband like Doctor Who as
Nakatomi?
well, or is it?
Yeah.
He's just doing.
He does, but just like the Disney thing, it's not his
Right.
passion.
I don't think he has
I'm
a choice, Becky.
Doesn't have a choice. I'm a lucky spouse.
Yeah.
He's you know, I couldn't get a new one because I've broken him in. Like he knows
Yeah.
how to talk Disney. He can have a Disney conversation. He can have Doctor Who conversation. I won't be embarrassed. Bring him around my friends and be like, "Don't let dum dum fall out of your mouth." He holds her own. So
Yeah.
I applaud him. Ladies and gentlemen, it can be done. It just takes years to break their spirit. Years
Oh,
and
yeah.
years and
Yeah,
years.
Kim works on that every
But
day with me.
If you know
Breaks
there
me
can
down.
So
like
here's the thing.
Highlander,
Yeah.
like Highlander, there can only be one.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
got
yeah.
There can only be
She's got to
one.
beat me down over the years till I
Yeah,
get
beat
down.
down.
You know,
Yeah. You know they
And
say
I
you have to
comply,
beat somebody
but I-
down and then build them
I
back
still
up.
haven't
I don't
fully, but
You know,
no, I don't know
built
when
that-
the building up is coming. It's just the beating of downness.
I built up Buttercup, but you know, there's
Yeah.
got to be a little mental discipline
Exactly.
here.
It'll be up. Well, just jokes here, as you can see. What? Hey, maybe we're airing the grievances already. Who knows? Did it just get kicked off? I don't know. we as
Well,
always
if that's
need
the
to.
case, I got a
Yeah.
list.
I got it's a whole different
And you
show.
better check it twice.
Right.
See, there I have no complaints, so I'm good.
let me open my notebook, right?
I'll tell
You
you
see-
what
you
is the.
So you see this room? This room is completely mine with all my stuff on.
That's your world,
there.
huh?
It can be done, ladies and gentlemen.
It can be done. We something tonight that is not a grievance, that is not part of Festivus, but is part of every one of our Disney Night live streams is our sponsor, D-Magic World, dmagicworld.com, who we tell you guys every week if you tune in, but if you're new, it's a 24/7 streaming Disney music station, playing Disney music from around the parks and attractions and parades. And they also have a Disney movie station. So 2 stations and 1 website. You could also request any of the music from the parks that you are longing to hear. Right now, it's just a steady stream of Disney Christmas stuff from all over going on at D-Magic World, and it's terrific. But you could put in a request, and they'll make sure that you hear it. And then you can also check out our Now That's Disney Facebook group by going to the top right and clicking on the Now That's Disney tab there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And then several days a week, you get to hear the Disney Night live streams in their entirety at 2 p.m. on Sundays and Thursdays. So if you're tuning in and you just happen to catch us as well, that's cool. But other than that, you get some awesome Disney music from D-Magic World, right? So
I love it when I'm listening because I listen every day. And when this great radio show comes on, I'm like, wow, these guys actually sound good. This is kind of professional, but still fun. Hey, that's us.
Hey, that's
us.
Yeah. We kind of seem to know what we're doing.
Kind of, maybe, sort of.
Right.
No, really.
Although we
No,
always deal
exactly.
with some sort of.
Well, no.
We make it work with technical difficulties. Last week we had some difficulties on the show, sharing out and going live in certain places, and it always happens. Everything works right up to the point where you go live. But nonetheless, we're here. And Jay, I know you said a little while ago that you have some Universal Epic Universe stuff you wanted to.
Yeah, I've got two things I'll share. First is, so I was on my route today, and it took me by Epic Universe 3 times. Once today, I drove by it on the north side. You can see Helios, you can see Stardust Racers, you can see the Sacré-Cœur, the very famous church in Paris on a stick. It's massive. I got to drive by it again, but on my way home, I drove by as the sun's setting and the lights are on as Starfall Racers. The 2 collided comets are racing each other on this track. It just, the way it's lit, there's just so much excitement. There's this brand new place for us to play. It's just waiting But I'll make a prediction here on the Festivus show here at the end of the year. I think this time next year we're going to be talking about, and everyone's going to close the year talking about how Universal took a plot of land that was a toxic waste dump for the military and created the world's greatest theme park. Boom, Mike. I think Tokyo Disneyland is going to be number 2. I think Tokyo Disneyland is going to be knocked down to number 2.
Really?
I think Epic Universe is going to take that prize. And you know what? The world's greatest theme park should be here in Orlando. Yellow Shoes. Get on it.
It already is. It's called Disney World.
It's called Epic Universe. It's going to. I don't think people realize just how much this is going to change things here.
You know what it is? The mouse knows they have the cheese. They know you'll keep coming back. We're like crack addicts, except it's with cheese. We keep going back to the mouse.
Until prices get so high in 3 years, you have to make a choice. Are you a blood or a crip? I mean, are you Harry Potter or are you Mickey Mouse?
Why don't we use sharks and jets?
Oh yeah. When you're a jet to the end. I've never. No, I can't say.
I think cost is going to be the ultimate divider.
It's expensive.
We're going to see people scoot to the other side.
I think Universal is costly as well, though. I mean, I've priced out vacations as a travel advisor, as well as just looking and like putting it together and doing comparisons.
I may just be talking out my arse. See, I said a euro word. It doesn't count in America.
Right.
So, but this is what I think, and I think that's going to be the fun of 2025 is hedging our bets on Epic.
How many employees is Disney going to lose? Epic Universe.
That's what
By the way, we're going to pay you $2 more an hour.
We're going to pay you $4 more an hour.
4 more.
I don't know.
So they up the ante.
I'm not buying any of it until it happens.
It's going to be a fun year to report. But the next 6 months are going to be wild. Just watching Epic.
Well,
so that's my Universal Minute for the week.
Hi, Clayton. MM for life. Yeah. Clayton Barbara Coleman. Listen, I'm not really that big of a Universal fan, but the scheme of it does look really cool, and I'm interested to see what it looks like when it opens. Just like
it opens today, but I will be going till fall because summer.
Right. I mean, the Polynesian Island Tower opened this week. I don't know if you guys got to see any of the footage of that. People are now staying there, and I maybe wanted to talk about before we got into Festivus, and maybe this could be
didn't we? Yeah, we did get.
Yeah. Did you guys, Becky and Mike, you got a chance to take a gander at the new towers?
I think they're
they're beautiful. I'm in love. And I didn't think I was gonna be. I mean, I knew it was gonna be beautiful, but I didn't honestly think it was gonna be that gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. Yeah. Even outside, because people, when they started building it, they kept calling it a Disney Marriott.
It's
I
not.
think it
It
looks really nice.
I was at the Magic Kingdom on Tuesday, and taking the ferry back
That
across
restaurant
TTC,
where it's all open is really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wailulu Bar and Grill.
But I'll tell you, as you come off it, it's so far off to the side of the regular poly, it doesn't disrupt that view at all. It kind of is a blur until you look at it.
Yeah.
For those who are worried about the skyline.
Right. This none of that to me is affected, and it's also, it's butted up right against the Grand Floridian. But from the views I saw of people watching fireworks, like the video I saw, it looks like a better vantage point than the actual Polynesian beach, or watching it from there. And I think just because you're on that swing part of the lake and it's a little closer, but there's some things that I could pick apart. When Tiki Man Steve Seifert popped in last week, a couple things. The fact that Wailulu Bar and Grill is the only eatery on property. The Island Tower does not have its own store, its own gift store or shop. So my concern is that once it's really going and it's packed, then the foot traffic is going to head on over to the regular Polynesian, and you're going to have the stores going to be busy and the restaurants will be even busier, which are already busy enough. But they did add a pool and a jacuzzi, and there's a gym there. So now Polynesian guests don't have to go over to Grand Floridian to use that gym. So there's advantages, I think, and some disadvantages, but also the price. So, I think the biggest complaint or the biggest maybe grievance here as we dive into our Festivus show is the cost. Like the Duo Tower, which is a room that basically is a really small, like what they did at Riviera for 2 people. I think like that's the cheapest room, and it was going for $1,000 this week. So square footage, it's really tight. The view is not that great if you're in a standard view, and to me, it's just the cost that's the biggest complaint. We were just talking about Universal, right? So,
Dave, to your point, I mean, for the price point people are paying to have that kind of a view, to have that kind of a room, I mean, yeah, it's like you're getting punished for not spending the money to get the lagoon side,
right? Yeah. To get a better view, or even just, I don't know how you could charge $1,000 a night for really any regular hotel room, even like a deluxe studio at Disney, no matter what resort. I'm not sure how you can justify $1,000 a night on a room that really is just, they're not.
Unless you're not going to the park and you're staying in the resort. That's a lot of money for a bed and place to take your luggage.
Right, just a place to go to the bathroom and sleep. I mean, I get the theming, and if you're staying at the Polynesian, it's a beautiful resort, but the cost is crazy.
Put a pin in that, because I think that's going to come up again. Make sure it's an industrial pin from Costco, like the big one, because I think that we're going to come back to this a lot in 2025.
Just take a 20-penny spike and nail it to the wall.
Nail it. Barbara says, about how far is the walk from the Poly to Magic Kingdom now that the walkway is open again? Okay. I'm going to guesstimate 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your pace.
I walk fast, and I can be there in like 13 minutes if I do it.
It's a long walk. I mean, it's convenient, but I'm not sure if you want to do that walk knowing you're going to be in a park all day, adding steps, because it's a decent, and then having to walk back, or if you decide to walk back, not that you have to, but
the fabulous Miss Marie, she would take off, get to the theme park, go on a ride, and then probably come back to ask me, find out that I would only made it to the Grand Floridian, and then go back to the theme park.
Right, where you were in your walk. Yeah, she'd have to come back and get like an update on Don.
You guys see like that scene in Captain America where Cap is just running by Sam.
Right, yeah. That's it. That's
well, if you've ever done the theme park with the fabulous Miss Marie, she only has one speed. I've
seen it. She's fast. I'm a slow walker. I don't know about you guys. When you're in the parks, I'm not.
Once you wind her up, that's it.
I'm gone.
Yeah. But then when everyone else is ready to fall over, she gets a second wind. And remember at midnight, she was ready to go, Dave?
I was ready to keep going, and Colton was tired, and Kim was like, I think we need to go back to the room. I'm like, but it's midnight, and we're in Magic Kingdom, and there's no one here. We have the whole park. But
and Marie was ready to do the bing, bing, bing ricochet rabbit around the theme park.
Bing bong. We should name her Bing Bong. Let's see. About a mile, then, Clayton Barbara is saying. Would you think that's about a mile walk?
It's a mile across the lagoon, so
a little longer because you're going on a curve.
Yeah, you're
1.2, 1.3.
But there is you can stop at the Grand Floridian and get alcohol.
You can, which will help the walk.
A mimosa in the morning
takes the pain right away. Kim says, I don't know how Marie does it. She beats me. Yeah. If you've seen us in the park as a family, Colton and Kim are always ahead of me. And not just because I'm looking at the phone for the plans, but I'm not. Yeah. We've gone to the parks with you guys, Becky and Mike. We've been there before. I mean, you seem to, you're not like aggressive about it, but Becky, I think you're the one that's ready to go fast.
Absolutely.
When we were in the park with Mike and Becky, it was raining. It was dreary. There was no, it was like we just sat there and talked because it was miserable.
Not in a rush.
No.
I'm not going anywhere fast. I've had both my knees operated on, but I'm just not I'm 5'7" with short legs, and
it was a pretty cruddy day, but we kind of made the best of it.
Well, the day we spent in the Hollywood studio, that was also relaxed, kick back and relaxed. When we went on the Rise of the Resistance.
The Rise of the Resistance. It's like a Terminator thing. Becky and Mike, we lost Becky and Mike. No,
poor Becky and Mike.
We were just kidding, guys.
By the internet monster.
You want to hear from anybody out there tuning in live? Let me check the comments.
Please.
So Skipper J, Disney Don, let me hear. You guys got some grievances. Lily says I'm always walking ahead of my husband.
Oh,
she has to stop for him to catch up. All right, Jay, keep it clean though. Okay.
I use a Euro word. It doesn't count here in America.
See, you're getting all winded up. You're getting winded up.
Well, this is an international show, Jay. So be careful.
It is international. True. Yes, they're very true. We're heard all around the world and in the U.S.
The number one thing, you guys guess what my number one thing? Have you seen that GIF of the Rage Panda walking into an office and he just picks up the keyboard off the desk and he just
smashes it?
I think Dave and I, we've said that to each other a few times.
I've seen that.
Can you guess what made me feel that way this year? When it comes
to Disney?
When they announced taking away the Tom Sawyer's Island and
the river. Big. I'm still salty. I am still salty. I am the Spice Minds of Kessel salty.
Even though they're going to build a version of Cars Land there?
It's not even the main Cars characters, It's some offshoot.
Right.
It's not even in it's not even Radiator Springs for Ring. It goes to this.
What are we getting? Planes? We're getting the Planes movie?
No, we're getting a version. We're getting Cars set in that world, but lightning shows up at the very end. It's off-road racing. It just you know what? I love the river. I always have. I think it's such a busy space. You need to have don't turn it into Hollywood Studios where it's concrete everywhere.
Yeah.
Keep the kingdom the kingdom. I know it's old fashioned, but that's what leave the river alone, man. What did it do to you? But it's one of the few things an entire family can do. Everybody in the party can do no matter what. Slow, gentle. You need these things in the park because, again, if you want to keep the Walt in Walt Disney World, keep the Walt experiences in. To replace something everybody can do for a vroom vroom is a no-no.
Yeah, I mean, I like the island because it gives people a place to go and get away from Magic Kingdom. I know you're still in Magic Kingdom, but it gives you a safe space.
Speaking of a place to go in Magic Kingdom, it's home of my favorite bathroom. You have to get it all to yourself. You have to take a ferry across.
Right, just have to wait. You have to not go on the ferry. Becky and Mike lost their connection and can't get back on at all. They're having some issues, so I apologize.
And if you hit the day right, you can actually get something at Aunt Polly's.
Right, the two times of the year that it's open.
You go on 4th of July.
4th of July and Christmas.
From noon to 3 o'clock, Aunt Polly's will be open that little window.
And you can get your peanut butter and jelly Encrustable.
And see that's a waste of space right there. You could put because the kitchens are utility rooms are you could put a restaurant there. And
I think they should have put a Haunted Mansion themed restaurant there and have the tunnel come from the Haunted Mansion.
See, I'm thinking make it a very small exclusive thing where you have to take the river to and from, and it's a harder thing to get into because that's what they like to do these days.
Yeah. Go down into the dungeons of the Haunted Mansion through the tunnel and into the restaurant that's on Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah, Mansion doesn't need to move outside its grounds. It's not like the one in New Orleans Square where it literally like branches out into everything. This one's up, isolated on the hill. And also, who's going to be serving you at a Haunted Mansion restaurant? I don't want dead food.
Ghost.
If I wanted dead food, I'd go over to Harbor House right there.
So many rides are closing when we're going to be there in a couple of weeks. What do you think this construction stuff is going to do to fans with Epic going full? Well, Epic doesn't open until when?
May 22nd
of 2025.
Yeah, it's 6. We're just 6 months. We're 6 months out from that.
Right.
Are they still talking about you have to, to get the Epic Universe ticket, you have to buy
all three. You
have to buy the other two to be eligible to get Epic.
Yeah.
Right. What's currently down at Walt Disney World other than Test Track? I know Test Track is down. What other attractions that I'm not aware of?
They're getting ready. They got the crane hanging out over Big Thunder. They're getting ready to rip the track out. But other than that, I mean, everything was open at Kingdom the other day.
Right, because Big Thunder is going to be down for quite some time, right, with this expansion.
And when is Muppets going down?
Not soon enough for Bob Iger.
Muppets should have been taken down 20 years ago. It stinks.
No politics. We do not want to hear either side. This is just news. All Presidents is getting ready to switch presidents in a few weeks.
Yep.
So go see that while you can before it changes. Again, no politics. We don't want to hear.
Do you think they're just gonna move the Hillary Clinton mannequin
I was just going to ask
again?
So
you can so tell that they carved that, and then like they did him dirty. They did him dirty. It was rude.
Well, so I've never done All the Presidents. We've never done it as a family, but so being the fact that Trump has been a president and he's going to be sworn into office again, right? What are they going to? So
they're just going to unplug the two of them,
right?
Yeah, they're just going to unplug the two of them and like put them on a dolly, and they'll
switch them.
Trump and Biden will pass each other. And
they'll probably bring him up. They'll probably bring him up center stage again.
Yeah.
When they announce that he was the 45.
He was 45 and now he's 47.
Yeah. The 45th president, they'll shine the light on him.
Yeah.
And then when they say, and the current president of the United States, he'll give his little speech.
Here's what I don't understand. They keep throwing money at this thing every 4 years. However, year after year, decade after decade, Hall of Presidents is the single lowest rated attraction at Walt Disney World.
Really?
Why are we keeping this thing around? It's so divisive now. I hate going in there because it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. The other side is like through the whole show.
Yeah, I've never done it, so I don't.
It's
a good place to catch a nap.
But from a standpoint of, so typically they close down when they switch presidents and have to do the new one. But now that you're not doing it, that's not only going to say.
All I gotta do is like are they even going to change the speech? I mean, just reuse what they already have.
I mean, it should be a quicker shutdown than normal.
Dude, this space, this Hall of Presidents building, I talked about it before, is so big. It shares space. It's the same building. Peter Pan and PhilharMagic. Why are we have this huge chunk of real estate that at one point they were going to rip the Hall of Presidents out and take all 6 Star Speeders and put them in that building? It has that much room. Why get rid of the river when you've got this huge chunk of real estate on the parade route that you could reuse.
Before they do anything with the Hall of Presidents, maybe they should do something with Alien Encounter.
Stitches.
We've got so much. We've got a lot of waste of space on the kingdom.
Yeah. Yes. And by far the worst food.
Yeah, and having transferred from Disneyland to Disney World, you're like, wait a minute. You've got where everything is so on top of each other at Disneyland. You literally have that blessing of size that there really is no excuse to get rid of stuff. Just to replace with something new. You can move. Guys, we know you can move heaven and earth. Do it. Don't be lazy.
One of my
don't be cheap.
Don't be cheap. Well, yeah, that too. So one of my grievances is Magic Kingdom and the fact that the food at Walt Disney World, the food is just not good. It's supposed to be the icon of Walt Disney World with the castle, and it's the most visited out of all the 4 parks. And so why is the food so bad? Like, why do they do us dirty like that? Aside from a couple items, including the cheeseburger spring rolls, why is the food generally just bad?
And it's gone downhill fast. It's been the last 5 years. They just really don't quality control care anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Like
I said earlier, Harbor House used to be one of my staples. I would go to Harbor House anytime, day or night.
I loved it. Yeah.
I went a month or 2 ago, took my food upstairs, I'm gonna take it at the window, looking out the window, and I go, I'm like, oh wow, dude, this crust, the fish itself was just so it's like Methuselah gave me something out of his lunchbox. And the fries, like I could have like stabbed people. It's so bad. There's only
your descriptions lately have got.
I mean, really, as far as like sit down food, it's down. It's down to like Liberty Tree or Skipper Canteen. As far as I'm gonna give my money to eat food in the kingdom because it's.
The last time I was at the Diamond Horseshoe Saloon, which shares the kitchen with the Liberty Tree Tavern, the food was terrible.
Yeah, that stinks.
It had a weird taste to it. I was like, ugh. So I was not.
I will say my new go-to in the kingdom, just one saving grace on Festivus, is Pinocchio's Village Rousse. The pizzas, the flatbreads. The flatbreads are always good. They're always consistent. And if you take that little stair up to the top, you get this great view. One of them with the castle, looking down at Fantasyland.
Yeah, I've never.
It's the flatbreads are always good.
Right.
But the food has gotten so bad that the flatbreads at Pinocchio's Village Rousse is good food now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, again,
I'm just gonna sit there and not eat. I'm just gonna sit there and be like, no.
Right.
No.
Kim says, even be our guest went downhill. I don't enjoy eating in Magic Kingdom really anywhere. They need to step up. When we visit Walt Disney World, a lot of times we like to have a dinner in the park that we're visiting that day. So we don't really park hop a lot. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of hit the park either early in the morning and then go back later, or hit it a little bit later and stay there through dinner. But on our Magic Kingdom days, we're finding that we are either going back to our resort to eat or going somewhere else to eat.
Yeah.
It's just, you're not giving us
if I have family down, I'm going to take them out of the park, which I shouldn't have to do, over to Steakhouse 71.
Yeah.
But again, I shouldn't have to leave the park to impress my guests from out of town.
Yeah. Yeah, is the disclaimer like, we're going to Magic Kingdom and it's cool, but the food stinks? Like, what are we telling people now?
Yeah, I mean, when the hurricane happened, I just went and bought like a whole bunch of churros from Disney World, brought them home, and put that at the door. Kept the water out, no problem.
They sucked up, yeah.
Now I'm stuck with like a whole bunch of industrial churros I can't eat. Can't do anything with.
Sogged up churros.
Don, you can always use them as a home defense weapon.
I was just saying, I'm making like a log cabin out of them.
Yeah, log cabin. Don, what do you got for the airing of the grievances for
airing of the grievance? We're gonna go back to when the fabulous Miss Marie and I stayed at the Animal Kingdom.
How long ago was this?
This was in the summer, I believe.
The summer of '69 or 2024?
No, this was this year.
You were going to say that too, Dave.
You
were going to say that.
Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios still have good choices, but Magic Kingdom sucks, says Kim. Yeah, very true.
The Animal Kingdom Lodge, we used our DVC points, and the rooms were so beat up and the furniture trashed, and we don't know if that bed has been made, because when it's a room change, they're supposed to put the dust cover over top of the pillows. Well, when we went into the room, it was like, all right, the dust cover's not on the pillows. Did they change the sheets, or did they just refresh them like it's the same guest staying here?
Right.
So we didn't know about. We didn't know.
They just came in from Breeze real quick.
Yeah. The furniture looked like someone bought the refrigerator looked like someone body slammed them into it. Both doors were dented in.
I've seen a lot of complaints about this for Animal Kingdom. Furniture and stuff is all dinged and nicked, and so I think they're next on the list for a refurb.
But, I mean, that's my biggest grievance for the last year. That you spend your points,
right?
You pay your dues, and you walk in. The telephones didn't even work.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to call the lobby, and we couldn't call the lobby because the telephones didn't work.
You want to call and complain, and you're like, "Hey, my fridge is dented," and then the phone doesn't work. They cut the cord on purpose. The call's coming from in the house.
My fridge is dented, and there's a chalk outline on the floor. What's this about?
Seriously, Disney knows what they're doing. I mean, they cut the cords on you.
Jay, remember the old Pecos Bills with the fixing bar?
Mm-hmm.
With the onion and peppers, and they had like fried onions.
The
hamburgers you got there, they're theme park hamburgers, but they were seasoned differently than all the other theme park hamburgers.
And you could fix them up.
I just had to throw my 2 cents on top of that.
No, that fixin' bar with the plastic cheese went a long way, because you could customize your stuff, and you could put as much as you wanted on there, and just numb that up.
And if you ran out of money, you could always go in there and graze.
I've seen people do that. I have.
But you know what? This is one of those dumb things that went away during COVID and never came back, and I'm sorry. There's no reason that Pecos Bills, which still has the stations there for all those fixings, to not bring them back. There's no reason that room service is not available in the other resorts other than Grand Floridian. There really is no reason for some of it, and this is another big grievance of mine. Okay, maybe I don't want a mobile order and I'm being lazy. Maybe I arrived in my room and I had a long travel day and I want to order food to the room delivered by somebody because I'm paying $1,000 a night for a room, and I don't want to walk to the resort and come back. To get my food.
I don't want to Uber and have to wait for a dude and go get upstairs and meet him out front. I just want, and I'm on vacation here. I want your food brought to me.
Yeah.
Well, I never liked the late night, like at the All Stars. You used to be able to get pizza brought to your, up to your room. And I was like, oh, this is worse than Pizza Rizzo.
Oh yeah, the pizza's not good, but at least there was an option, available. But like if you were staying at Polynesian, you used to be able to order the Twilight, which was a cheaper version of Ohana dinner, and it was called Twilight menu, I believe, or the Twilight option on the menu, and you would get certain parts of the Ohana dinner brought to your room.
You mean leftovers?
Yeah, but it was enough for 4 people.
Right. Yeah, the food portion was nice. Or we stayed at Boardwalk one time.
That was your money's worth.
Yeah, we had lunch every day in the room. We would hit the pool, then order room service, and then go to the park. And we would have basically the same thing every day. But I didn't have to leave the room and waste my time to go over to the eatery and pick up my food. So room service is definitely something that I don't see why they can't bring it back other than not paying for the personnel to deliver the food to the room.
What's going to happen is one of the places I pick up at is we don't interact with anybody. It's like a warehouse, so there's 30 kitchens in the back, and nobody interacts with anybody. And I go and scan my phone, and a robot delivers it to a customer, to a locker where I pick up from. When Disney buys those and makes them all cute, that's when they'll bring it back.
I was just going to say, why aren't we doing that already?
Or they could just buy their workforce instead of pay one. They're gonna bring it back.
Yeah, let a robot deliver my food, but somebody I want room service back, and I want the Pecos Bills fixings bar back, Don, because to me that's just like I heard. Oh, the company they used went out of business during COVID because of COVID and financial reasons, but I don't know if that's true. But you can't find another company that can service the freaking pickles,
right,
and onions.
Dude, they can literally make anything.
Right. Kim says, seriously, only Disney gets away with not offering room service in $500 to $700 a night rooms. Think about it. It's not right. It's not right. Because, and again, a duo studio at the Island Tower is $1,000. You're telling me I can't call and get room service delivered from the bar and grill? I mean, there's some things that Disney is really screwing up on. I think Lily Johns had said earlier, or maybe in the comments or in the week, the Magical Express. I know it's a cost to you, Disney. I just don't think they care anymore.
See, and taking Magical Express away to me, that was an I don't care.
Right. I don't think they care about.
We don't want to give you free transportation if you can't afford it. Don't go. And that's how it's starting to feel.
Yes. They're just raising prices and offering a lesser experience. And then on top of it, like you say all the time, Jay, they're becoming a resort-heavy. Walt Disney World is becoming resort-heavy.
It's Walt DVC World.
Right. Why
and
do
the
we
parks are suffering because because when you're going on that, I'm gonna piggyback on yours about that, because with everything we're paying, with the lack of things we're getting, you think they'd at least maintain the park better. Now that I'm going every week, I see things dirty. I see things broken. I see things rusted.
That's been for a while now, for years.
It. You want to keep Walt and Walt Disney World, then you keep it clean. You keep it maintained. Yeah. I walked into the bathroom over by the castle. You know where Cheshire is, and it looks like that bathroom has not been updated since October 1st, 1971. I was expecting a crime scene.
Yeah, they're old, and they're very busy over there because a lot of people hang out in that ramp area going into the.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've got great bathrooms at Tangled, but the ones at the castle, the ones on the big heavy route. I mean, I walked in and it was like, ooh, this is like a Hotel 660 at once. Barely survived.
I love Disney, and I love visiting Walt Disney World, but it's getting to the point where it's just too expensive and the experience is going down, and it's getting harder and harder to justify when people are always like, oh, why do you love it so much? I'm finding a hard reason now.
That's part of the grievance.
Yeah.
Right.
That we keep going. We keep throwing our money at them.
Yeah. But see, we keep going, but the tourists, because I go down to where tourists tell a lot, because it's great. And the feedback, because I talk to everybody, I'm deeply chatty. You all know that. And the feedback that I'm getting from people who aren't like us, aren't Disney people, the once every 5 years or we came back to do it again, are like, yeah, we're kind of over it. It was too difficult, too expensive, too much involved. It's not a fun vacation anymore. And that's what I keep hearing over and over. Disney is shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah. Too involved is another part of it, that if you're not somebody who likes to plan or somebody who likes to be very involved in the planning of your vacation, Walt Disney World or Disney is just not the place for you because there's a lot that goes into it.
And see, this goes back to being an old Disneylander. Do you know how many times in my life, school, work, dates, responsibilities, I played hooky, went to Disneyland because you could just play hooky, go to Disneyland, do whatever you want, and then go home.
Right.
There was never any plan, no fast pass. You just showed up, paid your money, went inside, did what you wanted, and left. The only reservations were same day, and you had to go to the restaurant.
And I get things change, and they're doing things, but I don't know, man.
It's not
now.
This
whole other resort.
It's turned into a way, and this was like what I said was going to happen when they merged with consumer products. They are taking every inch of the resort and not squeezing it. They are twisting it like a mop to get every last drop, every inch.
They're going to be building this other DVC resort now over by Fort Wilderness, and I'm sure it'll be beautiful. But like, why do we need another DVC resort? How many people are really
fast money? It is fast money for Disney.
That's it,
huh? Because of that, the park experience suffers.
Yeah,
right.
The
product is suffering.
Disney gets all their money on the front end. So instead of renting a room, okay, we have to rent this to break even. We have to rent this room 1,000 times.
And we have to up your fees every year.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And with DVC, Disney gets their money up front. It's
right.
So
because of the deeds and the contracts.
Yep. And then, well, that's like the cabins at Wilderness Lodge at Fort Wilderness.
Yeah.
Camp Wilderness, Fort Wilderness.
Fort Wilderness, yeah.
Yeah. Now, if Disney footed that bill, swapping out all those cabins, they would have probably on a 5 or 6 year. In 5 or 6 years, they'd get their money back.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not what
by doing it the way they did, they're whole. It's now it's up
instant
to
money for them. Yeah.
It's instant money for Disney, and DVC has to worry about it.
It's just sad though that they're doing us dirty like this. Kim says, I work in a school with a lot of teachers with young kids, and not many of them go more than once. Becky and Mike have written in because, again, they lost their connection and they can't get back on. So they have several grievances, which we could discuss, for them on their behalf. I feel bad they can't get back on. I know Becky, I think, has mentioned this before, but they are also DVC members. And she wishes that they would lower the DVC minimum to 100 or at least have an incentive if you already own a certain amount of resale points and bought 100 direct points. Because Disney raised, it used to be lower, the minimum, and they've raised that, and that's another gripe, another grievance, which they have several resale contracts and nothing direct, and they would like to buy a direct, but the fact that Disney has raised that minimum of buying direct points, you're pricing people out. So
what's going to happen when they have all these hotels and nobody can afford to stay there?
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. She also said that Mike's grievance, his main grievance, is that the DAS system needs to be completely revamped, and so
yes, that's
right.
Yeah.
Haven't had a chance to use it since they redid it. But I know a lot of people are really upset about that. The fact that they changed that as well.
I feel bad for all the honest people that got what's a good word I could use on a family friendly show? They got fruitcakes by the people that took advantage of it. See, that was a Christmas word, fruit.
Yeah, they
Because I went to Disney. This is always going to be on my Festivus. Dave, you know what I'm talking about. That time I went to Disney with one certain Disney adult who bragged about
abused the system.
Bragged about abusing the system, said they were entitled to it because they were a super fan. And not only abused the system, bragged about abusing the system.
So catch them
in front of cast members.
Right, and not punish the people who really need the system for what it was made for.
Yeah, there are people who need it.
Yeah, and it's something that I think any theme park should have, for people who are disabled. It just can't be taken away or slap us on the wrist because some people ruined it for everyone. That's not fair. I don't like that when you go after everybody. Right. Well, it's a mass punishment. You go after everybody because 5% of the population did something awful.
And not only did they take it away, they took it and they monetized it and put it behind.
Yeah, that was even worse.
Yeah,
they took it away from the people that needed it, and then but
you want to pay for it. Yeah, and going back to it the other day, Walt was very adamant when he built Disneyland and when he operated that people get a good value for their dollar. Parking was 25 cents for decades.
Yeah. And again, I know inflation and prices change, but not where we're at right now. Kim says grievance at the Poly, the bungalows sit idle. Not a lot of people are in them because it's garish pricing and it's not the real Bora Bora. It's not like you could just dive into that water. So she says they should be at least giving trips away to underprivileged kids or sick kids or, I know that it's a DVC thing and they couldn't lower the price on the bungalows. They really screwed themselves, I think, when they opened the bungalows and hit that price point so high. I think now that the Island Tower is open, that they might be able to because of the way the points work. But I haven't heard anything about the prices coming down. But when we stay at the Poly, I don't see a lot of people heading into the bungalows. So say there's 20 bungalows and I'll sit on my balcony a lot. Like when we're back at the room, I'll only see like maybe 4 families going into the bungalows on a steady basis during our time period. Right. So that's a heavy.
I gaze at them longingly and I never see anyone in them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I stay there. Water view and I'll sit there, we'll be on our balcony and watch the fireworks or something, or you kind of learn the people that are at your resort for the week that you're there, the time period you're there, and don't see many people. Let's see, I know Mike had another good one. Okay. Well,
Dave, really quick, my thought. Everything we're talking about tonight is, and this is a discussion I think we should have in 2025, because the human memory our collective memory only goes in 80-year cycles. We are now approaching the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. Is it time to admit that the parks have been around so long that they have, like a lot of things, become the opposite of what they started? It's the opposite of what Walt wanted. And maybe it's time we as a fan collective need to accept that.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and
allowing them to use Walt as nostalgia.
Right.
All right.
Cindy Dillon Teal says we visited Disney World for the first time 8 years ago and loved it. Happy we did it. When we did it, we live in California, so we go to Disneyland often. We have noticed it's much more expensive these days, and we don't get what we used to pay for. Right. So I really think that the popularity of the parks has a lot to do with influences. And although I do a Disney show, I have a Disney group, I have a Disney YouTube channel. I love vloggers that hit the Disney parks. I love seeing the new stuff. I like to see the vlogs. I really think it's those TikTok and the Instagram influencers that have made certain things seem like you have to do it, and then people go and they do it, and then Disney's like, oh well, we're popular, so let's just bump these prices up because something stupid happens, like whatever the color ears that came out a couple years ago or something that became really popular, or something, you know what I mean? Like,
but they don't even let trends become a thing on their own anymore. They kind of tell us now, this is the trend. Here's my Festivus, and it's D23 and all these conventions, because they're not about the fans. This is we pay money to a company to go to a trade show of theirs where they tell us what we're going to buy from them next year, and come on back the year after and keep giving us money so we can tell you what you are going to purchase from us.
Right.
The following. I'm old enough to. I used to go to San Diego Comic-Con when it was literally comic books on banquet tables, and that was it. Maybe the guy in the Darth Vader suit stopped by. And the last time I went to Comic-Con was the last time, because I walked in there and Tinkerbell, the DVD movie, had a 100-foot square foot space. Going back to that, everything we're talking about tonight.
Yeah. One of Becky's other ones is smoking. She doesn't think that the smoking section should be so far away. They've eliminated smoking from all of the parks. And again, I say this as a smoker. I'm not proud of it. I'm not happy that I smoke, but I smoke, and a lot of people do, and that's our choice. So we don't want to be treated like some sort of albatross. There should be at least one in the park smoking section, instead of making us leave the parks to go have a cigarette and come back in. So you can find a spot that is off the beaten path in each park and dedicate that to smoking. And if people can't get over it, I'm sorry, because other people are doing other things that annoy me, and I have to live with it.
I walk in the guys' bathrooms, and there's dudes vaping in the bathrooms because there's no space to do
There's
it.
people smoking weed in the bathrooms. I mean, I took Colton to the bathrooms by Baseline Tap House last time we were there, because we both had to go, and I'm waiting for the stall to open up, and the guy's in there for like a long time, and then he opens the door and comes out. He's high as a kite, and the thing reeks like weed. So you just sat in there smoking weed.
Yeah.
But I have a cigarette somewhere in the park that says smoking. It's clearly labeled smoking, right?
And I would take issue if I walked to a place and you're hotboxing my kid against my will.
Yeah, and again,
that doesn't sound right.
When I was a smoker, one of the smoking sections that I thought, this smoking section shouldn't be here, because everyone has to walk. Remember where the smoking section was in the beginning of Adventureland?
Yeah, it was right.
Everyone had to walk through that cloud of smoke.
Yes.
So the one by Big Thunder at Disneyland, you would be right on the train. You would go right over it, and you're like, "Ooh, all these different brands of cigarettes."
Yeah, but I mean, they could have a section in the park that is,
In Tomorrowland, the smoking section was down the path alongside, before Tron got there, it was down the path alongside Space Mountain, and went from that was a pathway into Toontown, and that was the smoking section. It was hid back there, and if you didn't go down that path, you didn't know it was a smoking section.
Or look on the map. Like, so in Epcot, there were several, but one of the ones you would never know were right before the China Pavilion. There's like that alleyway.
Yeah.
And people would go and sit back there and smoke. Nobody's going back there unless you're smoking. I mean, seriously. So there could be one in each park, at least one in each park. That's all I'm saying. So, but
I think there was a smoking section over in England too.
There was, and in Italy. I mean, and there used to be a lot, and then they took them away. But I'm saying just at least one, one in the park. You're making me have to leave the park to go and smoke. So I get you wanted to be an inconvenience, but whatever. Kim says people are baking pot all over, and that stinks to me. So I know. I mean, so they can easily put a sleeping.
I totally hate when people do that.
No comment. That's been the 2024 Disney Night Live airing of the Grievances Festivus special. I'm sorry that we lost.
What I like, Dave, is all of our Festivuses. Festivi, they were all legitimate. They were all legit.
Definitely. Nope. You're talking to somebody who loves the product of Disney. I love going to Disney.
Well, we're honest, because like with any good friend, we're going to tell you when you're messing up because we want you to do better.
Exactly. And you
got to listen to people. Yeah, it's not that we don't love you. It's like Moonstruck. Snap out of it.
Yeah, seriously. You should be listening, Disney. You should be listening to the people that go and that love it, not the people that go the one time and spend the $40,000 trip and buy everything for the kids. You should be listening to the people that own DVC, the annual pass holders, the people that like the pin trade, the people that go on a repeat basis. You're repeat customers.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's been, this felt good. Kim says that it does feel good to complain. I didn't even
touch on the gingerbread, the gingerbread popcorn container that anyone that went to Disneyland could buy, but if over here in Disney World you had to go to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party to be able to buy it.
It was like so like a party special that you have to, but at Disneyland you could just get it. That's not cool. Thank you, Lily. And stop doing this nonsense between Disneyland and Disney World. Okay? If something works in Disneyland, it should work in Disney World. If the food's better there, then think of how it can work over at Disney World. If you have a popcorn bucket, why is it an exclusive at Disney World but not Disneyland? Stop the nonsense.
At $200 a ticket, the food shouldn't cut my mouth like Captain Crunch.
Stop doing us dirty, Disney.
And that's the ice cream.
We need shirts. Stop doing us dirty, Disney. Anyway. This is
yellow shoes. Just substitute yellow shoes for Disney, and we can get away with it.
Christmas is on Wednesday, and we will not have a show until the 28th. So that's the Saturday after Christmas. So we'll be back on the 28th, I think. If not, then New Year's Eve will be our last show, or our next show. But I'm pretty sure
don't say last show.
No, next show. I meant another next show. But I hope everybody has a very Merry Christmas. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. Love Disney. Thanks for a great show tonight. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, everyone tuning in. Yeah. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Big thank you to the audience, because a lot of you guys have been with us all year. We get new people.
Right.
And honestly, guys, I'm really looking forward to TV 2025. Oh, man, she found her way in. Come here.
Come on, puppy.
Come here.
Come say goodbye before we leave.
Come get your Dairy Girl some puppy love.
Come on,
Dude, she's getting so big.
She's so sweet. And with that, I'd like to say, have a Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Have a good rest of your weekend.
God bless everyone.
God bless. We'll see everybody on the next show.
Yep.